Crows are not smart. That would be an insult to what they actually are. Betty, a New Caledonian crow with a brain the size of a walnut, and the patience of a speedrunner, got handed a straight piece of garden wire and a food tube at Oxford in 2002. No tutorials, no walkthroughs. In under 20 seconds, she jammed the wire against the tube, flexed it with her beak, and bent the tip into a hook, then fished the food out like she'd just unlocked the physics engine. The researchers stood there, jaws probably on the floor, as Betty pulled off what they called the wire bend cheat. No human hints, no monkey see, monkey do, just pure unpatched hardware manipulation. But Betty wasn't a one-off glitch. In the wild, crows like Mango take it next level. Presented with a puzzle that needed more than one tool, Mango stacked, slotted, and jammed together up to 4 separate pieces, sticks, straws, whatever fit, until he'd built a custom bridge to the prize. No other non-human animal, not even the apes, has been caught on camera doing compound tool assembly like this. It's the avian version of entering the Konami code and watching the game hand you new mechanics. And then there's the barb stick meta. Wild crows whittle hooks from plant stems, crafting barbed tips that snag food way more efficiently than plain sticks. They know the value. 95% of these hooked tools get stashed and reused, while the basic models get left behind like low-rarity loot. If you're keeping score, that's engineering, inventory management, and economic theory, all in one feathery package. A crow can hack a food puzzle with a wire in less time than it takes most people to Google a solution. That's not just smart, it's straight up OP. On the University of Washington campus, a murder of crows built the ultimate blacklist. In 2006, researchers pulled a classic villain move. They trapped and tagged 7 crows while wearing a Halloween store caveman mask. Think low-budget boss fight. The crows didn't just remember the face, they flagged it as kill on sight and spread the word faster than patch notes on Reddit. By year 5, 47 out of 53 crows on campus would drop into full aggro mode if anyone wore the danger mask, no matter who was underneath. Gender, even how you walked, irrelevant. The mask was the cheat code for instant aggro. This wasn't just a one-generation grudge. Chicks who hadn't even hatched during the original mask incident grew up and joined the mob, scolding the mask wearer like they'd seen the whole thing on Crow Netflix. Over 17 years, the memory bounced from parent to offspring and through the flock, outlasting most human friendships and all student loans. The Cheney mask, a neutral control, got nothing but polite indifference. But the caveman mask? That was perma-banned from Crow Society until 2023, when the last grudge finally faded. Humans, on average, remember a stranger's face for about 5 years. Crows tripled that, then handed off the beef to their kids. In the animal kingdom, that's not just a memory, it's a generational banhammer. At the University of Tübingen, a squad of lab crows was handed a different kind of puzzle. Not a stick, not a mask, but a numbers game. Researchers flashed Arabic numerals 1 through 5 on a touchscreen, then waited to see what the birds would do. The crows didn't just wing it. They sized up the digit, then preloaded the exact number of caws before even seeing the food. 3 on the screen? 3 caws, no more, no less. This wasn't random squawking. Over 200 trials, the birds nailed the match 84% of the time. And even at the highest setting, 5 calls, they still hit 78%. For context, most humans can't remember their own phone pin with that kind of accuracy under pressure. The real flex? The first caw in the sequence already carried the blueprint for the whole count, like a speedrunner inputting the entire combo before the level loads. And just to keep things spicy, crows from different regions ran their own dialects, some dropping rapid-fire fast caws, others stretching out the tempo like they were syncing to a different server. The Tübingen team basically unlocked avian symbolic processing, a vocal buffer that lets a crow stack, plan, and execute numeric code on command. If you're still thinking bird brains run on instinct, try preloading a 5-note combo in your head and see if you don't crash. In the animal kingdom, that's not just counting, that's a built-in cheat code for abstract thought. Japanese crows treat the city like a giant, multiplayer sandbox, Except they are the only ones who figured out the traffic exploit. Rush hour in Sendai is not just about commuters, it is prime time for walnut farming. Here's the meta. A crow grabs a hard-shelled walnut, flies up, and drops it smack in the middle of a busy intersection. Cars do the heavy lifting, cracking shells with a 71% success rate, way higher than any beak could manage. But the real flex? Crows time their drops for just before the light turns red. As soon as the crosswalk goes green, they swoop in, dodging feet and tires, and loot the kernels before anyone else can respawn. It does not end with walnuts. In Tokyo, crows have been caught using chunks of bread as bait, dropping them into ponds and waiting for fish to bite, then nabbing the fish like they are running a fishing minigame with unlimited bait. The city is not just a habitat, it is a toolkit, and the crows are speedrunning resource extraction while everyone else is stuck in tutorial mode. Most animals adapt to cities by hiding. Crows adapt by rewriting the patch notes. Name another animal that can turn a morning traffic jam into a vending machine. That is not just survival, that is urban OP. Under a kapok tree in New Caledonia, 30 crows gather around one of their own. For 12 minutes, the flock stands silent. No bickering, no scavenging. Just soft calls and gentle touches. Researchers call it a funeral, but for these birds, it is a moment of collective memory, a pause in the usual routine to mark a loss. Meanwhile, in Brisbane, a 9-year-old named Gabby Mann leaves scraps for her neighborhood crows. Soon, her efforts are rewarded. Polished stones, blue buttons, red beads, and a single pearl-colored heart-shaped token. 4 categories of gifts, each with its own frequency, all delivered by beaks that expect nothing in return. Ethologists debate the meaning, reciprocal altruism, perhaps, but for Gabby, it is a daily surprise. When the rituals are over, crows turn to play. They slide down snowy roofs on bottle caps, pass sticks in midair, and invent games with no purpose but joy. While most animals leave play behind in youth, crows keep it alive, rewriting the rules of social life. Here, grief, generosity, and play all belong to the same flock. Hannah, Kara, and Lonnie don't just solve puzzles, they demolish them. At the University of Auckland, these 3 New Caledonian crows went head-to-head with a boss rush gauntlet built by scientists who clearly thought they were designing for primates, not birds. First up, the classic stone drop water puzzle. The setup is simple. Food floating just out of reach, a pile of stones on the side. But here's the meta. Crows picked stones averaging 1.2 centimeters across, just the right size to maximize water displacement without jamming the tube. No trial and error, just straight-up physics intuition. 68% of the birds nailed it on their first try. That's nearly double the rookie success rate of New World ravens, who apparently skipped the patch notes. But things ramp up fast. The main event is an 8-step acrylic maze, each stage a new logic trap. Tool selection, spatial flips, causal chain reactions. Hannah, Kara, and Lonnie blow through the sequence using sticks, hooks, and levers in the right order without a single walkthrough. Lonnie sets the speedrun record, 3 minutes, 45 seconds for the full solve. That's faster than most humans can finish a beginner-level escape room, and these birds don't even have thumbs. When the timer stops, it's not just a win for crows, it's a leaderboard reset for what a bird brain can do. If you think intelligence is about brain size, you're playing on easy mode. Lab scanners don't care about vibes, they want numbers. Drop a crow in the MRI and the readout goes wild. The Nidopallium caudolaterale, or NCL, packs about 80 million neurons into a space barely bigger than a peanut M&M. That's the avian equivalent of the primate prefrontal cortex, the planning and plotting module. During problem solving, bold signals in the NCL spike by 2.3%, matching the kind of brainwave fireworks you'd see in a human tackling a logic puzzle. No 6-layered cortex, no problem. Crows run their code on dense, clustered circuits, not the spread-out mammal design. Single-unit recordings show phase-locked firing to alert calls, just like the P300 event in human brain, the classic "I see what you did there" response. On paper, this is the cheat menu. Neuron count maxed, activation spiking, all in a bird that weighs less than a banana. If you're still betting on brain size, the crows just out-min-maxed your whole build. Crow's brain doesn't have a cortex. There's no 6-layered mammal motherboard, no primate-style architecture. Instead, crows run their code on a dense, clustered pallium, a neural circuit board packed so tight it makes a peanut M&M look roomy. When researchers scanned the NCL, the avian answer to our prefrontal cortex, they found phase-locked spikes firing in patterns eerily similar to the P300 wave in humans. The classic "wait what?" moment of conscious detection. This isn't just a bird improvising with instinct. It's a walnut-sized machine running primate-level software with clustered pallial circuits that pull off logic, planning, and memory on hardware that shouldn't allow it. The cheat code isn't in the size, it's in the wiring. If you think human uniqueness is safe because we've got the big, folded brain, the crows just quietly patched your OS while you were looking the other way. Right now, the most OP intelligence build on your block is rocking feathers and side-eye from a power line. Crow brains run meta-exploits we're just starting to patch into science. So next time you're outside, remember, the game's not just watching you, it's probably 3 moves ahead. Drop your wildest crow story below.